friends. Happy Thursday. Today I wanted to go over the Khan Academy exercise with you guys today to make sure that you guys understand what the questions are asking, and so you guys can kind of get some confidence in these tasks. We are comparing quadratic functions, meaning that we're going to be given two different functions and we're going to be asked to compare something about them. So the two functions that we have been given are f of x and g of x. F of x is simply an equation and g of x is a graph. Now, this one is asking how many roots do the function have in common? Now, roots, that is just a fancy word for x-intercepts. We'll be talking a lot about x-intercepts in the coming weeks, but a few different ways that we could say x-intercepts, we can call them roots, we can call them zeros, x-intercepts. Sometimes in certain equations there are solutions, but roots are just x-intercepts. So we have these two functions and we want to know how many x-intercepts do they have in common. Well, let's start with the easy one. This one has x-intercepts of -1 and the other x-intercept is a positive 2. So those are our two x-intercepts there. Now, unfortunately, with this f of x, we have not been actually given a graph for that, so we need to figure those out ourselves. So right now it is in standard form. We need to get this into factored form in order to find our x-intercepts. So x squared breaks up into an x and an x. And now I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to -6 that add up to a +1. Multiply to -6 that add up to +1. Well, that would be a +3 and a -2. So this factored into x plus 3, x minus 2. So let's go ahead and look here. Our two x-intercepts here are -3 and +2. All right, so let's go ahead and compare what we have. For this function, our two x-intercepts are -1 and 2. For this function over here, our two x-intercepts are -3 and 2. Well, this one is a -1, this one's a -3. However, these do share a common root, a 2 and a 2. So when I go down, f and g share the same roots. No, one of them is different. F and g share one root in common, but have another one that is not shared. That's my choice. And check. Next question. Ooh, I like this one. Which function has a greater y-intercept? So same thing, we have f of x and we have g of x. Now we're asked about the y-intercept. Well, let's take a look here. For our graph, our y-intercept right here is +1. Now my f, this one is already in standard form, which means my y-intercept is a +12. So this one is a 1 and this one is a 12. So which function has the greater y-intercept? Well, that would definitely be f. F's y-intercept would be all the way up at 12. So f has the greater y-intercept. So f has a greater y-intercept than g. Awesome. Ooh, all right. Now here's a new word. We have concavity. I've been kind of talking in, is it smiling? Is it facing upwards like this? Boop. Or is it facing downwards like this? Now a fancier way would be as if it is smiling, it would be, hey, this is concave up. And if it is frowny, this would be a better way is to say concave down. All right, so this one is asking about, do these functions have the same concavity? All right, well, let's take a look here. This one is concave up, clearly. This is concave up because that one is a smiling function. Now, over here, I have f of x equals -x squared minus 15x. Well, this -1 right here tells me that this is actually concave down. This is a frowny function. So this one is down, this one is up. Yeah, so looking at my answers, F and G are both concave down. No, that's not it. F and G are both concave up. Nope, that's not it. F is concave up and G is concave down. Well, no, this one's down and that one's up. My final answer here is no, F is concave down and G is concave up. All right, and last one. Which one of these has a greater minimum value? Minimum is, hey, what is the lowest height that this goes? Let's look at our graph here. This one we have g of x goes right here. The lowest value that this ever reaches The lowest value that this ever reaches is 2. That's the lowest it goes. And in fact, if I were to write an equation of this graph, we have y equals, well, this one would be right by 4, up by 2, x minus 4 squared, up 2. The lowest it gets is that 2. All right, now let's take a look at this one up here. We have 2x minus 3 squared plus 4. So if I were to think about this graph would be right by 3, 1, 2, 3, and up by 4. And it would be up in this direction. So this one would actually be, oops, pretend that that was a straight line. This one is up by 4. That is its minimum value. So which function is higher off the x-intercept or the x-axis? Which one has the greater minimum? This one went up by 2. This one went up by 4. So f of x has the greater minimum. Up by 2, up by 4. This one obviously has to be bigger. So f of x has the greater minimum. So those are the 4 types of problems that you're going to have with comparing quadratic functions. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to send me a screenshot. If not, good luck in prepping for your quiz tomorrow. Have a wonderful Thursday.